Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. It's not 2012 when I was at uni and struggling to grow a beard. But we've reached the point where I've just wanted to give myself a break. All the men that are here, do you ever get tired of just trimming and maintaining and trimming and maintaining and you're just like, I need a break? Welcome to my world for the past 24 hours. So here we are. I'm giving myself a little rest from it all. I hope all of you are doing well, and those that resonate, you resonate. We're going to get cracking into the latest and what has gone down at Chelsea and elsewhere. It's going to be a good one because there's actually been quite a few things that's happened today. But there's one thing that I want to start off with, and that's what we spoke about yesterday. But there's a continuation because, listen, I came out yesterday and told you guys what I heard Disasi say after the game against City, and Sterling the same too, where they both were saying that we're not very happy with the fact that we didn't win, but we're proud and we're happy with the performance overall. And I resonated with that because I believe we should have won. We didn't, but if you had said, would you take a draw against City before the game had started, we'd be like, absolutely, we're going to get battered 6-0. Of course I'd take a draw. So you know, balance it out. But Disasi has gone one step further. He's gone one step further, and because of that, I don't want to get too carried away, but I think he's starting to become a personal favourite. I have to be real. Disasi's starting to not just say the right things, he's playing really well lately, but especially against City, he literally turned into John Terry reincarnated. But now he's saying this. Let's get right into it without further ado. Let's check it out. Here it is. Disasi urges resurgent Blues to stay humble as the Carabao Cup final looms, saying just because we played well in the last 3 games doesn't mean we should say Chelsea are back. Disasi. Finally. I'm really happy that he said that. And some people are probably going to say, no, we want him to say Chelsea are back. Because Chelsea are back. No. The only time Chelsea are back is if we start showing consistency. Simple as that. You can't win 1 game, lose 2, draw 1, win 1, draw 2, lose 1, win 1. No. Sorry, not having it. You need to go on a little bit of a run. You need to, for example, draw against Man City, beat Liverpool in the final on Sunday. Then we've got the cup against Leeds. We get through against Leeds. Then we can start talking about, have we? Have we turned the corner? Because there's enough substance there to show that, yeah, perhaps we actually have. We went from, losing to Wolves at home and all these crazy results and losing here and losing there and getting battered there and getting battered there and the odd win here and there to, 3 wins on the bounce. Top teams, don't worry. Well, I'd say top games. Man City in the league, at the Etihad, Liverpool in a cup final and Leeds in the FA Cup. To get to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup if we win that. Those are 3 serious games. So that's when we can even think about having a conversation of, have Chelsea turned the corner? Are we back? But even then, are we back? What does that mean? For me, defining being back means that Chelsea need to be at their best. We're a long way from that, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't want to say Chelsea are back. I don't think Chelsea will be truly back until we start hitting levels again. But I would like to say we've turned the corner if we do what I've just said we should do. So the fact that Disasi sees it the same, don't let a result at Man City, for example, carry you away and start thinking, we're the bee's knees, we're fantastic. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, we're nowhere near. We're nowhere near. And rightfully so, a lot of you in the comments, I think a lot of you were fearful, being scared that I was starting to get too carried away. I'm not, just to let you know. No. Yeah, the result against City is a good one. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not all of a sudden just forgetting everything that's happened. Hell no. I'm still there. I need a lot of convincing. So I'm glad Disasi sees it the same, and I hope the rest see it too. And Disasi right now, keep doing what you're doing, keep saying what you're saying, keep playing the way you're playing, and look, you'll be in my starting 11 without question every week. So big up to Disasi and everyone that recognise it in the same sort of way. That's that. Other Chelsea news. This is, I think, just worth the mention. It's nothing too significant, but it's worth the mention. Some would say it's significant, but in terms of the actual football, like the team, it's got nothing to do with the team. But for the club, it does. So here it is. Exclusive from Nathan Gissing saying Chelsea lead physiotherapist Steve Hughes is set to leave the club at the end of this month after nearly 23 years at the club. The news doesn't come as a surprise to Chelsea, as the club announced via email to first team members in September that he would resign in February. And there is Steve Hughes with the Super Cup that we won under Thomas Tuchel. I'm going to come to Tuchel in a bit, don't worry. Big up to Steve Hughes. Look, he's been at the club since 2001. That's humongous. Absolutely humongous. So massive, massive service at Chelsea Football Club. Huge congratulations on the 23 years and best of luck going forward. This was premeditated. It was something that he'd already decided upon, as it said here, at the start of the season, basically. So it's no surprise. And he's been here for a very long time. And if he's been here for that long, it means he was doing a good job. You know what's crazy? This is where I'm starting to think. Look, this is a lead physiotherapist, right? Part of the medical team. Significant part of the medical team. If we're talking about someone like this who's been at the club and still is for 23 years, and we're looking at all the injuries that we've had, and we're looking at the turnover of staff that we've had, I'm honestly starting to go more towards the training methods rather than the medical staff as to why we're constantly getting injured. The amount of injuries has been crazy. I don't want to think when there's people like this at the club that we're just rushing players back and we're not paying attention. It can't be. It can't be. Especially when you've got people like this who's been at the club for flipping. Look, he's been there when players were not getting injured. You know. Do you remember when? Do you remember when Drogba got injured? When Lampard got injured? When JT got injured? I'm not going to say Essien. Essien did get injured all the time. So, you get the gist though. We had a crop of players who were literally invincible. You couldn't break them. They'll be there playing 38 league games out of 38 in a season. Not a problem. Plus all the cup games and the Champions League games. They're there. And they're there. They'll play every 3 days for 8 weeks running. Not a problem. It's fine. They'll do it. They just had the legs. They just had the body. They had the physicality for it. They never got injured. This person was there, so I'm sure, like, not just him, but there's also got to be a couple of other members who are still at the club. We know that there's been others that have left, and that might have played a part, if I'm being completely honest. But the amount of injuries overall is just, it's not normal. And the recurring injuries, the players that come back and get injured again, is just not normal. I'd like to go more towards, instead of just the rehab, but the training methods itself. I don't think it's to do with the rehab. Getting the player back on the training pitch and getting back into full training. Once they're back into full training, the rehab is complete. They're not talking about rehab anymore. It's no longer down to the medical team. It's now down to the coaching staff. And I'd like to think that perhaps it's more to do with what we're doing in training rather than the medical. That's my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. Let me know yours in the comment section below. I'd love to get the gist of that. But that's Steve Hughes. Good luck in the next step of your career. We have injury news for Liverpool going into the cup final on Sunday. According to Dominic King of the Daily Mail, Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota are out of the final for Liverpool. Curtis Jones could still make it. So Jota's going to be out for 2 months. Núñez a couple of weeks. Jones maybe a week, and you'd think that he might make it back in time. Liverpool are literally falling like flies at the moment. But listen, it's not an excuse. Especially Liverpool. Listen, you're in a title race. You've got a team and you've got a top manager. Not an excuse. You know, we've had injuries. Yeah. Look at us. So let's call it an even playing field. As simple as that. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. Fingers crossed we can actually get a result. Make sure you're here for the preview on Saturday for that cup final, because there's a lot to say. But let's move to elsewhere. What's going on elsewhere? Yesterday was a long day. for Mr. Audi TT. Not so Audi TT, I've got to be honest. It's looking more like a Fiat Punto at this rate. And a banger too from 2002, not the latest kind. Here's the latest. Thomas Tuchel saying the defeat was not fair today. A lot went against us. We had an XG value of 3.4 and we had 4, 5, 6 top-class chances. We completely dominated the game and actually went behind out of nowhere. Oh no, TT. Listen, I've got to be real. I've got to be honest. I like Thomas Tuchel. I really do. I think for me, he's a legend, right? In terms of what he's managed to do for Chelsea, what we've done together was historic, right? Fantastic. That will forever remain. But I can't have TT talking like this, man. I've got to be honest. If I'm a Bayern Munich fan, right, and I'm setting a level here, and I hear my manager, after losing 3 games on the bounce, start talking about how we had a better XG. Listen, Chelsea had that last season under Graham Potter. I was here flipping when I heard that. Most people were flipping, going, excuse me? We're talking about XG? Are you serious? TT's just done the same thing. I gotta be real. I don't like it. Don't be that guy. Thomas, don't be that guy, please. You're one of those guys that I didn't think was that guy. Please don't be that guy. Please. Don't want any the XG. Our field tilt was exemplary. No, we're not doing that. So listen, I think the writing's on the wall, I've got to be honest. I think that TT and Bayern Munich are just not a good fit. I thought he'd do well at the beginning, I can't lie. It's just not worked. It's just not worked. And it's making it seem even more crazy that Bayern Munich sacked Nagelsmann when they did. And obviously that was more personal. That wasn't actually to do with football. Bayern Munich were doing well. It was nothing to do with results or football. It was more to do with something personal. And when you go and you look at the reports, apparently there was something personal that went down between Nagelsmann and the club, or ex-players at the club, maybe specifically Oliver Kahn. Anyway, so that's crazy. You know what's mad as well? Because this is Bayern Munich. You have to win. Like, you can't lose 3 on the bounce. And they've said that his job is still fine. He's still being backed at Bayern Munich. But you best believe, you lose 1 more, I think he'll be done. You can't lose 4 games in a row at Bayern Munich. You just can't. It doesn't work. It can't happen. It's illegal. It's a criminal act. It can't do it. So I got to be honest. If I'm a Bayern Munich fan and I'm seeing Thomas Tuchel with these amount of losses, I'd be saying, look, the sacking will be justified. I got to be honest. So, let's see what happens. I personally think it's going to happen. I don't see Bayern Munich turn it around in terms of getting themselves back up and running properly and winning games consistently. I think they're going to lose 1 more and I think he'll be done. So we'll see what happens. Now, Newcastle United are moving like the Avengers, right? They are flipping all over the place at 260 million miles an hour, and they are assembling their brand new squad upstairs. Here it is. Newcastle United can announce that Dan Ashworth has commenced a period of gardening leave. Absolutely outrageous, this. You know what's crazy? It's not actually done with Man United yet. Man United have approached Dan Ashworth. They have to buy his contract out for 20 million. For Man United, I think it'd be worth it. But it's not just that. Like, they are assembling every single level of footballing staff at the top that they need to in record time. It's incredible what they're doing. So fair play to United here. Absolutely fair play. They are doing what they have to do. Dan Ashworth has been put on gardening leave. I think it's a matter of time. United will end up paying the money and they will get Dan Ashworth in as their brand new sporting director. So big moves being made. Let's see what happens there. Do you think it's a good or bad appointment? Let me know down below. We move to the news at Crystal Palace. And it's finally over. We're going to end on this. It's finally over. Finally. Poor old Roy. I'm kind of relieved for him. I'm happy here, you know. The news has come. Crystal Palace have announced that Roy Hodgson has stepped down as manager. And you know what? Considering it's Crystal Palace and Roy Hodgson, this is probably the best way they could have ended it. So here's Roy Hodgson and what he had to say. Roy Hodgson, he's one of our own. And the club, well, his statement, this club is very special and means so much to me and has played a big part in my footballing life. I have fully enjoyed my time here across 6 seasons. It has given me the chance to work with top-class players and staff doing what I love every day. However, I understand given recent circumstances, it may be prudent at this time for the club to plan ahead, and therefore I have taken the decision to step aside so that the club can bring forward their plans for a new manager as intended for this summer. I would like to thank Steve Parish and the American partners for their support, along with my coaching staff and backroom team who have helped me so much along the way. In particular, a huge thank you to my long-term friend and assistant Ray Lewington, coaches Dean Kiley and Paddy McCarthy, plus the excellent sports science, video analysis and medical departments. My thanks and respect also to the current squad of players who have been a pleasure to work with. They are a credit to the club and themselves. I am certain that our fans will continue to give their full support to the team for the remainder of the season and beyond. I am confident that the season will finish well, and I wish the team every success in the weeks, months and seasons to come. That's from Roy Hodgson. And we had Steve Parish at Palace speak about this too, saying, Roy has a special place in Palace history and this will never be forgotten. Quite simply, we owe our continued Premier League status to Roy. It's fair to say Roy has the keys to Selhurst Park and will always be welcomed back. So, big stuff here. Roy Hodgson has left Crystal Palace and they've done it in a way where he's stepped down. I gotta be honest, of course, the writing was on the wall. I probably feel like Crystal Palace didn't quite know how to do it. Well, you heard the reports that they were approaching a new manager. All of a sudden, Roy was taken ill and he was in hospital. And then we started hearing, they've got a replacement lined up, but what's going on with Roy? And now Crystal Palace are playing tonight. They've got the assistants taking charge, but they've got the new manager in the stands ready to take charge immediately afterwards. And they've made it look that Roy is the one who stepped down. And yeah, it's all very, very nice and amicable, and it's probably well-deserved because Roy Hodgson is a Crystal Palace boy and always has been since his young ages. And yeah, look, good luck to Roy. The news was that he has come out of hospital. He's left hospital. He's all good. And he's just going to focus on full recovery and getting his health together. And that's the best thing that he can possibly do. So Roy Hodgson, good luck in retirement. I'm pretty sure it's retirement, but good luck. Enjoy it. Put your feet up, look after yourself, and best wishes to you. And Crystal Palace, I'm glad they're looking forward with a brand new manager. And this new manager, who is it? Well, I don't feel like they could have made a better move, if I'm being completely honest. Oliver Glasner, new Crystal Palace head coach, as contracts already signed and completed. Glasner will be in attendance tonight and he will be ready for first team training session on Tuesday, as expected. Story confirmed. Europa League winner with Frankfurt in 2022, if you remember that, was him. Now he heads to Palace. There's a nice, young and exciting squad there, I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at Crystal Palace now and thinking, second half of this season, well, we've already passed the half of the midway point, but this part of the season, keep your eye on Palace. Keep your eye on Palace, because I think now they're going to get a brand new breath of fresh air, brand new, a feel of life in that team, and I think it's going to start kicking, I can't lie. So, good manager. He is a winner. He's won the Europa League with a team that no one expected. He's done good things. He's now at Palace. Let's see what happens. So, let me know your thoughts down below on everything that we've discussed. Much appreciated. Do not forget, hit the subscribe button if you are new and you haven't done so already. And go and check out the brand new Younes Talks Football TikTok. Link in the description, as there's going to be regular content on there, and it has started. So go and have a peep and follow on there, as we're going to hope this time we don't get taken down for copyright infringement. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure there's nothing to copyright, unlike last time. So yeah, links are in the description. Give us a follow and enjoy all the extra stuff, and I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one, or maybe two. I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. Have a good one. Take care and peace.